It's all good. We'll do it live! We'll do it live! Oh, sorry. All right, we're live. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. It's all good. We'll do it live! We'll do it live! Oh, sorry. All right, we're live. All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge. Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. We're also in the Toyota Losers Lounge, fellas.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Driven by your front range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets suffer a blowout loss. Are we live right now?
We are live, but the lounge bumper is still up. We've not switched to us yet.
We are we almost here? Let's go. There it is. Oh, there we are. Now we're on the cooked part. Now we get through this. Brennan votes with me.
There we go.
Hey, at least we got to sit in a suite tonight. I can't imagine if we didn't, because that really was the bright spot when it was all said and done.
The suite was incredible.
The sweet life of DNVR Nuggets takeovers. Unfortunately, we scheduled the Cavs. Bang, 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 bang.
Dude, this was just like my Christmas. I can't binge eat like I used to, you know? Because we had all that delicious food. I did not have that much. I wanted to have more, but I was too full. Over here, D-Line Code.
Same for me. I didn't really take advantage of the food spread that much. I did have a hot dog for the road.
Oh, hell yeah.
One final glizzy for the road.
A little glizzy on the go?
I was in a place where I needed to eat my feelings, and I wanted to do it as efficiently as possible, so I got the thing most shaped like my throat. You know what I mean?
What'd you think about that one,
I didn't
Bo?
like it.
Did you land that one?
didn't
All right,
like
over here, Superstar Dev.
It was a takeover on a Friday night, and we had a suite, which vibes were immaculate for.
Yo.
I love the suite life.
I do love the sweet life. I didn't love watching this game.
Experience.
Yeah.
Just didn't live up to it. It just didn't live up to it. We flew too close to the sun. Man.
Yeah.
I think the only people that had fun tonight were literally us in the suite and nobody else in Ball Arena. I'm going to give you a fast breakdown on this one. I'll promise to make it gentle and quick. Cavs scoring every time down the court.
Yeah.
Did that stop? Not for the first 48 minutes of the game. I put on their note, they're on pace for 50. They scored, 40? I mean, they kind of slowed down, I guess. Nuggets flipped the script, though, after the first subs. Michael Porter had himself a Porter quarter.
He
but
did.
then to end the quarter, you guys, this was the most painful part of the entire season for me. Donovan Mitchell hates Jamal Murray. I don't know if that's true, but
No,
what I
it's
saw
official.
tonight is you only do that if you hate someone. Pointing to him across the court, like, bring that man to me. Get him switched. Cook him. 3 over and over and over again. And what were the Nuggets down? Only 40-38 at the end of the first quarter. Nuggets held it close for a little while, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Starters checked in and it completely fell apart. A 26-6 run in that second quarter. They finished the quarter kind of strong, and it was 80-65. You weren't feeling great about it, and the third quarter came out. Cavs got into the bonus in 3 minutes. Nuggets were like, we're going to up our defensive intensity. Fouls. Then there was that crazy call on Jamal that I absolutely hated. I put it in my notes because I wanted to complain about it. Jamal Murray got called for a flagrant. Went to review, and then they're like, it's a common foul. Foot didn't even move, whatever. But the Cavs could not miss from 3. That's the story of the night. They were on fire. They finished the game making 23 out of 48 three-pointers. They made them in the first. They made them in the second. They made a lot of them in the third. I'm sure they made them in the fourth. I stopped paying attention. The Nuggets get absolutely blown out. The score was 149 to 135. That's the most points the Nuggets have ever allowed in Ball Arena in regulation. And they lose 149-135. And I'm going to tell you right now, 14 points, it was not that close. All right, it's time for Red Hawk Roofing. Big takeaways. Superstar Dev, good luck.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of takeaways.
Okay.
Honestly. I don't want to take them all, because I know I've been known to take them all. My big takeaway in this game is the Nuggets defense is absolutely cooked, truly cooked. And it's not even the fact that they're only playing bad defense, but it's their style of basketball. They have not adapted to what every other team is doing right now. shooting the 3-ball. The Nuggets give up the 3-ball and also don't shoot the 3-ball well, which is a math problem, some would say.
Yeah.
But it's really the defense. There's none of it. Like, I don't even know how it gets better. I'm scared.
Man, I mean, this is the most points. The Cavs have incredible offense. We talked about it in the pregame show, number one. They're a really good offense. But yet, this is the most points they've scored this year. The most, by 5. So, I agree with you. The Nuggets defense is cooked.
My big takeaway, my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that's the NBA champion. That the Cavaliers are the most complete team I have seen in a very long time. They have guys that can clog the middle, play elite defense against anybody that comes inside, that are also able to knock the three-point shot down with better than anybody else that we have on our squad. I've never seen a team hit threes like that with it going through every single player on their team hitting threes. The craziest part about tonight that I can't wrap my head around is that the Nuggets shot a better percentage from 3 than the Cavaliers did. Did you know that they shot 48% to the Cavaliers 47?
Nuggets scored.
But it's just like they didn't shoot enough.
Well, here's the thing. I just said that this is the most points they scored. 135, the most points the Cavs have given up all year. The Nuggets just did it. Play the air horn. 135 is the most. And guess what? It was a blowout.
Which is the perfect way to frame it, honestly, because to this point, we had that kind of back and forth in the last game, and I can buy the offense getting there. I can see it.
Yeah,
it's kind of there, really.
It's kind of there.
Yep.
There are some, and that's kind of what I mean. I felt like in some of these matchups they played with more energy, but tonight was a really harsh reminder that the defense is
abysmal.
worlds away, and that's really it, man. I think if they could defend, you'd feel a lot better. You'd buy into some of these signs that some things are going better than we think, but it's the defense that just sort of feels like if it's this bad, the rest of it is moot. Because it shouldn't be that easy to score 135 against the Cavs. It kind of was for Denver.
Cavs
tonight,
are good defense, man.
Despite a lot of turnovers. Now, there were a lot of possessions in this game, but it was just so easy for the Cavs to score. It honestly didn't feel like the Nuggets got a single stop. A single one. So
kind of true.
That's a lot of, like, I think their offense could get there, but the defense is so far away, and that's the problem.
Nuggets offense tonight, a 131.1 offensive rating. That's absolutely incredible. To your point, that's championship caliber. And to be honest with you, I still don't feel like they're firing on all cylinders. It's not like the ball, it doesn't look like what we expect when the Nuggets look like they're in a perfect rhythm, a perfect sync. And yet, 131 offensive rating is incredible. 143.3 defensive rating. Among the single worst performance. Somehow only the 99th percentile offensive rating tonight for the Cavs. So there technically has been a more efficient game somewhere along the line by someone in the NBA. But
who and when?
I bet it was them.
It probably was
maybe
them.
Memphis against Golden State the other night.
Oh, that's right. That actually might be
the
the one game where there was a more efficient offense. But my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, watching the Cavs tonight, I mean, the defense is the story. That's the big story.
Yeah.
But there's a secondary story here to me, and that is the Cavs, when you said that they play a different brand of basketball, it is true. And one of the things that's true is what qualifies as a good shot for them, there's a confidence when you tell your shooters, let it fly. Those guys get it up quick, man. Yeah. Dean Wade, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus. Like, Max Strus hit that one in the corner. I know it was a little bit of a desperate. It wasn't even a desperation, actually. He didn't have to shoot that one. He just did.
He was just feeling it.
He just was feeling it, man.
Like, why not?
And honestly, like, watching Mike light it up in the first quarter, there was he had a little bit of that going on too, where it's like, oh yeah, just let it fly. You get a little daylight. That's all our offense is designed for, a little daylight, get up volume threes. The Nuggets don't have that. And some of that is because you have Jokic. Jokic can create a good look every time if you just play through him. But there's also a level of like, yeah, but you can't be scared to do stuff. And I think the Nuggets play, even though they scored tonight, they almost play a little scared to do stuff.
Yeah.
And when you watch the Cavs, all of those guys, nobody complained about any shot anybody took tonight. And some of the shots were crazy. And there's just this freeness when you watch them play. And the three-point shot's a big deal. They have a lot of them. But I think part of this is just they are looking for it. Yeah, and they're looking for it a lot.
That's a great point. Like, really, it's not even only the connectedness that you see from the Cavs, but they really do play careless and free basketball. There's some nights that like Michael Porter Jr. gets 6 shots up. We've seen nights that Jokic has getting up, 8 shots and things like that. Ty Jerome has 6 shots in 7 minutes. Sam Barrow 3 for 4. Niang 1 of 5. Like their guys are just shooting the ball and no one drops their head. No one cares. They're okay with it. And on top of that, they're shooting the 3 ball well. But when you feel like you have the green light, it gives you a different type of pace. If you even think about this game, the Nuggets played best when everybody was just shooting. They went on like a run of just like getting some shots up and playing, freely. And that's how they kind of got back into this game. But you talk about it. Guys are overthinking when they're out there. They're playing a certain way. And I feel like there is a brand of basketball that's just a little different. The Cavs, they just seem to be like tuned. They're like, okay, it doesn't matter. We're going to get back on defense or we're going to just, let the next play go. They don't have those same type of worries.
Yeah.
I feel like we were talking about this a little bit. They kind of remind me of the 2023 Nuggets in that there is like this fun. It looks like they're
so fun.
It looks like they're fun and believe in each other and believe in the system and believe in everything. And it's just, there's no weight on them. Their shoulders are weightless.
Yeah. They beat the Nuggets in every conceivable way.
They really did.
Donovan Mitchell went Kobe Bryant, like ISO, shake, scored every single time he wanted to. They went inside on us and were big and physical. They hit the 3 over and over and over. I mean, they beat us in every conceivable way. They even figured out how to slow the Nuggets down in transition and caused a bunch of turnovers when the Nuggets were looking like they were going to start to run the whole time to counteract what the Cavs were doing. That is a complete basketball team. It is unbelievable. And also, I don't know, I have new thoughts on the Michael Porter Jr. potential trade.
All right, well, we can get there.
I'm just leaving it.
Just kind of tease that one, I suppose. They just do have, and Donovan Mitchell, man, it was really personal. It almost felt like I don't think he hates Jamal. I don't think he have anything, but but he knows they're measured against each other.
We used to be in conversations together.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's the thing, man. And I think NBA players, especially American NBA players, I know obviously Murray is not, Mitchell is one. That sort of kind of ego thing is a big part of it. So it's not actually explicitly disliking the guy. I always felt he wasn't on my level. And to me, that's sort of like those threes, the 3 threes he hit to close the first. You want to say, well, get out there and contest. But if he does, Donovan's blowing right by him. Yeah. And Donovan knew it. And there is an ease with which Donovan Mitchell gets himself open that to me is, just like worlds apart from what Jamal can do without a great big there in the pick and roll.
In a weird way, though, I feel like it elevated Jamal. I mean, he was getting cooked and he could not be on Donovan's level, especially from the 3-point line. But he did, I thought, focus as the game went on in a way that we haven't seen from him.
Dude, he absolutely did. That's the thing is that Donovan Mitchell was so dominant in the first half, and not only was he dominant, he was insulting.
It really, really was, man.
And so it really feels like Jamal just got his ass handed to him, and he did.
Yeah.
But he actually turned in what, in the end, was like a reasonable game. It's just like the times when it mattered, they couldn't get it done. I mean, they got whooped.
The Nuggets need some of that energy too, man, and it's so tough because when you look at the numbers, I'm guessing we did good on our bets tonight, Deb. There were so many numbers.
Yeah, if you bet the over on everything, it's going to hit eventually.
So, there's a part of you look at this, but it really is just the defense. The Nuggets' point of attack defense is not very good right now. Their rotations are not very good right now. And there's just no fear. I mean, part of why it looked like it was so fun from the Cavs is it just was like one of those games where you're like, oh, man, we're going to get what we want. So we'll, let it fly because we're going to, whatever we want, we're going to have. But they're always
going to against Denver, which is my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. That very well may be the best team in the league flat out right now, but that's also the worst matchup for Denver in the NBA. Left, I think. In the entire NBA, that is one where I go, they have 2 bigs to make difficult for Jokic. And just, I don't know, on the other end, Denver straight up cannot guard them. They're either conceding threes or Jokic is in drop. If they fight hard enough over the screen, they walk into a layup, or they walk into a mid-range jumper, or they walk into the mid-range, and then they just throw that lob, right?
Yeah.
Or they hit Jarrett, who then hits Mobley. It's like, to me, this is the most, in terms of process and the way they match up, I'd rather play the Boston Celtics than the Cleveland Cavaliers if you're the Denver Nuggets.
Like, 1,000,000%.
The Cavs like give you so many different actions also. Like one, they're like you talked about, Donovan Mitchell was like seeking out Jamal. They do that in a lot of ways, and they're moving them off the ball. They're setting high screens. Nobody can get through their screens. Like that is a very difficult matchup for them. And on top of that, we continue to talk about how the Nuggets need to get out and run and play with this pace, but I feel like the Cavs, they looked at this matchup, they looked at them starting to run and said, shit, let's do it. Let's run.
Let's run, yeah.
If y'all want to run,
Yeah.
we can run
Yep.
too. And they got the best of them with that running because they know that the Nuggets cannot navigate screen. There is no point of attack defense. You are playing 2-on-1 when you get Jokic in drop coverage with either a lob tack or a guy that can finish around the rim. And then on top of that, everybody's shooting freely. They had 4 guys finish for like 17 field goal attempts. That's unheard of. You just imagine if Jamal, the Nuggets 4 had 4 like guys that shooting 17 shots. Like it just doesn't happen in the same type of way. So the Nuggets have to find a way to get their guys like open in those same type of ways where you're running and things like that. But also the defense has to show up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They made a coaching change. They really have largely the same roster, and they have like a new identity. You know, it's just, and sometimes comes down to that. It's like, all right, hey, we're just going to, a new style, same guys, but we're going to do things a little bit differently. And maybe it has a shelf life to it. It might be a thing where we get to March and the team has kind of run the course. I mean, there's such a thing as peaking too early. I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying it's a long season. We'll see how they do. But they certainly seem to have an identity, a new identity right now that they all love and embrace and execute at a crazy level. Tip your hat to them. And hopefully the Nuggets learn some lessons. On the other side, we'll start breaking down these players a little bit more and ask, is it even possible for the Nuggets to be a good defense given their personnel? That's the main question we'll ask today.
Still think people are sleeping on that Kenny Atkinson acquisition, man. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, they built durable legends destined for greatness, perfect for Colorado. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you, like the all-new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser. Toyota offers 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Like the Epic 4Runner, they also offer more low and zero-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. There's AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Toyota, let's go places. Bet365, where it's never ordinary. Unless we're talking about Denver's defense. Just kidding. Bet365, where it is never, ever, ever ordinary. They're an official partner of the Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche, the pioneers of live betting, and they're helping you have more fun watching sports because every day they power up the odds on hundreds of bets to give you a chance to win with over a 10,000 boosts every single month. They boost specific markets, your winnings, and even parlays. If you're in the Denver market, keep an eye out for our custom DNVR bets and boosts, which we have for just about every team here we cover at DNVR. So do yourself a favor and download Bet365. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get 150 in bonus bets. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. You have to be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, back here, segment 2, throw us a like. Later on, we're going to be having our party bus return. You know how we do on a takeover. Last takeover, you guys remember, nobody wanted to give a take.
Really?
Yeah, so hopefully tonight people come in with some fresh perspective for us.
Yeah, they're just going to come in with some hot, angry fire, dude.
Oh, we might get a bunch of fire.
I'm telling you, like, this was such a beatdown. No one's even mad.
I know. And we had good food and drinks. It was a good time.
Sweet,
we were having a good time,
it's
man.
a sweet night, dude.
Let's break it down now. First of all, no Aaron Gordon. Michael Malone elects to go with Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup. He went with Peyton Watson for those 10 games before. Nuggets, I thought, did a good job. They had their best run of the year of the 5 games in that stretch. But Russell Westbrook tonight, what'd you think of that?
I thought that was about perimeter defense. I thought that was about trying to shore up the perimeter defense. I don't think it helped as it
Swing
turned
and a
out.
miss.
Yep, swing and a miss. And I also didn't think it was a very good Russ night, particularly the 4 turnovers as well. And a lot of gambles on defense, which I like because he tries to be disruptive. Of course, when you don't make a play, you're putting Jokic in a tough spot. So I thought that was about trying to buff up the perimeter defense, which I understood as the game started, but very quickly did not play out the way he hoped.
See, I saw it as a way to counteract, like, you can beat big with quick. And to me, I was like, they're going to run.
Well, that worked in terms of scoring.
Yes, and I think that's what they were thinking is like, let's run, score every time down, like get the thing going where we put a lot of pressure on them to have to make their threes. I think that they were sort of conceding defense a little bit in favor of running. And it started off like I was like, oh, this is actually a really smart plan. And then it just didn't matter. Nothing mattered at a certain point.
I think this was a plan that backfired because it set the tone for the Cavs. They really got out and run early on in the game, and then I just feel like at that time there was already too much momentum for them. Like the Cavs put up a ton of points in the early going because they knew, they had the idea of this is a team that's a lot smaller. We're gonna get shots up and grab rebounds, and we're gonna try to push the pace. Knowing that they're going to push the pace with a Russell Westbrook because they said it. We're going to beat you with speed. We're not going to beat you with size. We're not going to try to match you in those type of ways. So I feel like that was a setup. I think you try it. You're supposed to give things a try. It just did not work in this specific matchup. But that's not a all-on Russell Westbrook type of thing. I just think that was a plan that the Nuggets went with. It did not work.
Yeah, I will say, being at the arena tonight and getting to watch, the things the camera doesn't cut, Jokic's frustration is real. I mean, I really do think that you can really watch him during timeout. There was one in particular. They call a timeout, blown coverage, and the camera was in the arena was close up on Jokic, and I couldn't make out what he was saying all the other time, but he was frustrated. He kind of throws his thing down. He's pissed, and then you just catch it every effing time is what he said something. So whatever he was complaining about that was every freaking time. That's the same mistake or something. And one thing I will say about Russ, watching him in the building today, he gives incredible effort sometimes. There are a lot of plays where he's just not making the rotation.
Tonight more than ever, I thought.
Yeah, tonight was a lot of them, and then you'll see him go for a steal and get it or something, and you're like, awesome. But then they'll kick it out to a guy for three, and he just is yeah, that was your guy. You just weren't even trying.
I haven't went to the game, so I haven't been seeing it the same way. Because you are paying attention to how they react and how they are with the team and the chemistry, and I want to know if this was a one-off game for Russell Westbrook because he does not seem as a part of the team as I once believed, and maybe that was just a tonight-only thing.
In the huddles,
he made a couple of mistakes.
That's real.
And he walked. Everyone else is in the huddle. He did not go to the huddle.
Yep.
I was actually shook about that.
I'll tell you, that's not the first time that's happened.
No, it's not. Not only is it not the first time, I think it's every time. Russ has not had that kind of superstar, but it is a thing with Russ where, and he's not the only player in the NBA. It's kind of a common thing, but it's demonstrative. It's almost like sometimes he's demonstratively, I'm not going to the huddle.
I was actually shocked. He really isn't part of the, not to say he's not part of the team. He was not going into the huddle when they are clearly talking about things that need to adjust because your team is losing. That was one thing. The second thing was when Peyton Watson made a mistake or did not know where to go, the guys are
looking
they're
at him,
calling him out or hey, you need to start going. It was as if he didn't know some of the plays, and Jokic was pretty upset about some of it or trying to teach him or a mistake happened and he's gets back, and I'm like, whoa, I wonder if this is what you see often or if this was just a one-off type of thing. So that was just something that stood out to me being at the arena.
I did think this game was his low point in terms of the energy stuff you were talking about. For me, it was the most noticeable.
He still had some big-time energy plays.
Totally. We're comparing Russ to his good games this year, which, by the way, there are some, right? There are some with a high bar. And I thought tonight was maybe one of his... I don't want to use this too harshly, but just flat out lazier performances. Went for some gambles, like you said, then didn't do the work to cover up, and then the 4 turnovers too kind of killed them. I thought
some of them were really bad ones. What did you get from being at the arena today? That's outside of just the game.
I mean that time that you're talking about really stood out to me as well. It came right after the team was seemingly setting up a play. Jamal had 2 guys locked down, and Jokic was about to cut out around him. And then Russ just shot a logo 3 air ball, and Jokic was like, "What?" they called a timeout, and then Russ just went and shot baskets because he knew that they were going to be mad at him. And then he like slowly went over and did not join the scrum at all. And I was like, that's disappointing, man. Like, he wasn't like, it's on me, fellas. He was like, yeah, well, what are you going to do?
I'm telling you, people do not understand how crazy the NBA is because everyone's point of reference for basketball is either pickup or their high school team of some type where it's like the coach will, wrangle everyone in. If you're not listening to me, you can get out of the gym and
my way or the highway.
And in the NBA, guys can be like, I don't want to listen
By the way,
to the coach.
this is Russ at 36 on a minimum contract. What do you think Scott Brooks' life was like? Like, come on, man.
Really?
It's a little bit wild.
Yeah.
But Yoke's frustration to me just stands out when you're at the arena. You see it it translates to the broadcast as well. But, Yoke's pretty frustrated, man. Although I will say, Yoke's defense tonight is part of it.
Yeah,
he had 3 steals and he does some stuff. But Denver, when you say this is a bad matchup, I think part of it is that Denver has a true center. They have a dive guy. And Yoke's going to constantly be having to like rotate up, rotate back. They're going to rotate on the backside. That's what makes this a tough matchup. The next guy we got to talk about though is Christian Braun. Let's do the good first.
Okay.
16 points.
Hell yeah.
Man.
2 of
So
4
many
from
points.
3,
Welcome
7 of 9
back.
overall. His offense really is back. But he was brought here for defense, replace KCP. And he was another one of the guys that just doesn't have an impact on this mold of player. Garland, Mitchell. Doesn't make an impact on those guys. And even on screens, man, it's just like he either gets screened off or he's 3 steps behind by the time they're in shooting.
I think that public discourse right now, all you keep on hearing is screen navigation, because that's what KCP was like so good at, and those are the things that you miss. And then you watch these games, Christian Braun cannot get through screens. He truly cannot.
Yeah.
They set a screen and he's stuck on that screen. So now it's a mismatch because now you have a guy that's now Jamal Murray is on Donovan Mitchell, who's already been cooking, or now Michael Porter Jr. is on him, and they're in the spot where they're like, I know I'm not supposed to be right here. Like now I'm stuck in no man's land on an ISO and they're about to attack me. And the NBA guys are so good that if you try to make that switch, they're going to punish you every single time. So truly, he does have to get better at that screen navigation. Also, he just right now he is not close to being Denver's defensive anchor. It's just not there. And you talk about that's what they brought him in for. He finally made a shot, but when that shot's not falling and when he's not slashing, he's not scoring, and he's just giving up all these points, it's like, okay, what are you bringing to the table? It just makes it very difficult. So, like, really, right now, that has to be the only thing that they're pushing for Christian is it does not matter if you have to get through those screens. You have to work on that right now because it's gonna help us in the long run. It's gonna help you in the long run become a defender. So like that has to like hit home for him.
By the way, not the first defensive specialist to get upgraded, and then all of a sudden, not quite as much a defensive specialist. And there's
Who's the others?
well, I'm saying like in the history of basketball, not
okay.
Denver. I'm saying like
Okay.
this is something that happens, and I think there's a little bit of. I bet CB really enjoys averaging 15 points a game whenever he
Right.
was, and a guy who used to rebound really well on the offensive glass leaks out a lot now because he's a threat in transition, and he can pick up easy points in transition, and that is nice. I actually do like that, but there's a little bit of, yeah, man, once you start playing 32 minutes a night and you're asked to score and you're thinking about that stuff, not quite as easy to be a shutdown defender when all of your energy and focus and your minutes aren't dedicated to it. So that's, like, CB is not the first guy that's going to have to figure this out. You're brought in for defense, you get the big promotion. Can you still be about just defense enough? And so far, I would say the answer is no, even if he's had some nice offensive moments.
They got to make a trade. He's not good. Like, Christian
Brown needs to be traded?
I don't know if they need to trade him or not, but he can't play that role. He can't. The Denver Nuggets have to make a move. They have to. I'm now squarely in the camp of they need to move probably Michael Porter Jr. and get 2 guys in return. They don't have enough guys. And their defense, they don't have anybody that can stop the top. I mean, obviously, Aaron Gordon in this game changes a lot. Can't be overlooked, but it's not. I just don't see it with Christian. Like this was an ultimate measuring stick game tonight, and like the Nuggets are so far short, and they are so far short defensively. And I don't know. I don't see any other way around it. They don't have the personnel to be able to just like scheme their way out of this. They need a dogged defender.
How many guys are available or teams are going to give up point of attack defenders. They're like guys that can. That's what makes it so difficult. That's why I'm not saying that they don't need a trade, because there has to be a shakeup or you're not winning with this team. But like, that's why they want their guys to work so well. That's why you have a Christian Braun and you like try to go all in on that. That's why you have Jamal Murray.
That was the plan.
His contract, because like that's the plan. Is like we have the guys, they just have to go do the things. But what happens when you want those things to happen and they're not happening? Now comes like the chaos. Now here comes you panicking and trying to make a trade or something like that. But really, if you look at this team right now, with how the defense has been playing, not just tonight, which is the icing on the cake, but like they just haven't had enough to stop teams defensively.
Not at all.
And I don't know if the personnel's on this team, because you can't just wake up and it's just like, oh, Christian Braun's defense, he's locking everyone up. Aaron Gordon all of a sudden is feeling healthy and he's defending his ass. They just don't have that right now. So like that's what becomes scary. So I really am. I'm dead in the middle of like, make a trade, but maybe not, because like, you make a trade and it doesn't work out, you're back in the same spot.
And this is why we got to take a break. But this is why I'm not so sure about the Christian Braun piece of this. Part of this is, if you have a good defender, it's too easy in today's NBA to get that defender to get off ball. And that's what happened tonight. It was a lot of, let's get Jamal, let's get Mike, let's get Russ. Like they were picking their guys. They weren't picking CB. He didn't do an effective job when he was on the ball. But it actually, to me, was 90% the other guys. And if you just leave those guys but change him out, guess what? That good defender is going to be in the corner guarding Dean Wade while Donovan Mitchell cooks at the top. But we got to take a break. We'll continue this conversation over in segment 3.
Hey, this is a timely one because you probably need it. Live Well Cannabis Store strives to make cannabis accessible to all. And I mean all, because they believe everyone deserves well. When I say all, by the way, not children, not all adults. All adults.
I felt like that was implied.
I just felt like I really emphasized the all, and then I went, you know what? There actually are some restrictions. But here's the thing, though. They do have 25 convenient Colorado dispensary locations. That's a lot, with a premium selection and expert service that awaits you. One thing about going to get stuff at a dispensary and because that's the only way you would ever do it. One thing about that is you can really ask questions. These are knowledgeable folks who know what they're talking about. Bro. They have probably sampled these different strains, and you can tell them what kind of experience you're looking for, and they'll help you find what works for you. But the biggest thing is that right now, with our code, which still works because I checked recently, DNVR 25, you can get 25% off one regular priced item. Now, I just want to help you galaxy brain this one. That can be an ounce. That's one item. So just think about that. Instead of just 25% off a pre-roll joint. If this is your kind of thing, you could buy in bulk and save 25%. What a code. What a treat. Live well. Make sure you go check it out. And use code DNVR25 in store to get 25% off one of those amazing products. And if you're looking to go see the Nuggets, I'll try the Avs right now. The Avs, maybe a comedy show, a concert. You got to use Game Time. And I love living in Denver for so many reasons, but one of the big reasons is, as far as the smaller, non-overwhelming cities go, you get everything. You have all your sports teams, you get all your favorite comedians, all your favorite musicians. They are coming through town at some point or another, and there are so many great venues in this great city, and Game Time is helping you get the great seats, even at the last second. That's kind of their thing. Folks put up those season tickets or those tickets they thought they were going to use at the last second, and you can use the Game Time picks filter to filter out all the fluff, find only the best seats at only the best prices, even at the last second. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for 20% off. Download Game Time today. What time is it, D-Line?
Game time!
You're like Miller time? Or?
Back here, segment 3. We should have some homies coming back in a bus here anytime. There was one silver lining to tonight.
There was.
Yusuf Nurkic got knocked out.
Yeah, that was sick.
Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you see this? Did you see the video?
I did.
Najee Marshall, who's, I'm told, because he was in New Orleans, I got my buddy Christian down there. He was like, that's one of the toughest dudes, man.
Not one of the ones.
Not one of the ones to do.
One of the ones.
And Nurkic tried him tonight. He walks up to him for some reason, slaps him in an instant. Like, one of those ones where a guy has been slapped before. So he, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, it wasn't a like, holy crap, I'm being in a fight. It was immediately like, slap, boom, passed him. Nurk went down, buckled. It actually made it all worth it, to be honest.
Talk about awareness. he anticipated the punch.
He really did.
The slap.
He's like, I hope he slaps me right now. I hope he does.
I dared him to slap him. It was like, as soon as he was getting slapped, his hand was already moving for the punch. Full straight on punch. And in the NBA, you would assume that a guy would like start to feel worried, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Suspended.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be suspended. Nope. You go onto his Twitter profile, God first, go on top of the header. It is
That's
a
the best
picture.
part.
It is a picture of him socking Nurkic. I say, all right, he's definitely one of them.
Dude, it was 3 minutes after it happened too. He's like, you know what? I should change my Twitter.
Dude, the craziest thing about that is that Nurkic went down faster and harder than the fan that was attacked in Malice at the Palace.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Like, that guy stood up, and then Nurkic not only got buckled, couldn't get back up, and then, like, tried to act, like...
Tried to play it off.
Are
like,
you
hold on.
guys sure? Are you guys? I still think Marshall missed the punch, and Nurkic.
Have you not seen the photo?
I've seen the
No,
I've
there's
seen
a still-
Najee's photos.
No, there's a still photo like
get
this.
got it.
Oh, it's a
I'm
connect.
telling you,
It's not a miss.
That's because that's what I thought too watching it
Right.
live, and then you see this photo and it's literally Nurkic's face doing the sideways punch thing. He caught him, man.
He
It was a
got him
nice little
good.
tag. Back to the Nuggets though.
Tough year for Nurk. Tough year for us though.
Tough year for us. Michael Porter Jr. man had that great start.
So good.
So good. He took 3 shots in the second half. We talk about this every night. To me, it's. I know the Nuggets scored well tonight, so you can't really blame the offense. But this trend to me, man, it's just so concerning that he's a guy that can get those many shots and then just not see the ball for the rest of the game.
I truly hate that he's not good enough to be like an all-star or like young enough to be in like the sophomore gamers. I would like to see him in a different setting.
Just go
Like
off, just
be able to
shoot it.
shoot the ball every single time, or just be with guys that are going to feed him every. He needs to play a bit more, or they need to show him more in the pickup runs. Because I would like to see if they go through him and like what it looks like when he just has the ultimate green light and wants to shoot. Because like this was a game that he had it going on, knocking down shots. He had 5 3-pointers in the game, 5 of 8.
5 of 8, and one of them was a heave.
Dude, if you're going 5 of 8, I mean, if you knock down 5 3-pointers, if I knocked down 5 3-pointers, I took 20 3-pointers.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep shooting until I cannot miss.
Yeah.
Like, a few of those are going to be heat check type of shots, especially in a game that they put up this many points. You would assume that, hey, we have a guy that can match their threes right now. Like, let him shoot the ball. Threes are worth more than 2. Stop going in and forcing these like layups and shot attempts. We have a guy that's coming off of, pick and rolls, DHOs and other type of ways, but shoot the ball, Mike. I don't understand how that is not the communication right now.
To me, right now, first of all, I think it might be. Malone did say recently they are trying to harp on this to each other. If you're open, shoot the ball. And Mike's first 3 tonight he actually wasn't open, and he was like, screw it, I'm getting this one up. To me, this season more than ever, talking about this year, I could be wrong. I don't have data. This is my eye test. I have felt like Mike's own level of engagement and mental like involvement is very, very different when Murray's on the floor and when he's not.
Yeah.
And that's a problem because the best version of this team has, to this date, included Murray with the ball in his hands a lot. Murray played much better offensively tonight at times. He dribbles a lot. And when he doesn't play, the ball moves a lot. And I think Mike kind of knows what to do. And I think when Mike is out there right now at the same time as Murray, his mindset changes. And it's probably because he feels a little bit like he's not getting the ball. And that's what I think.
You know what's weird, man, about tonight? Christian Brown, 16 points. Peyton Watson, 18. 6 of 8, 2 of 2 from 3. Julian Strawther, 11 points, 4 of 8. You got all 3 of those guys playing well tonight,
Yep.
or scoring well, and it was still a blowout.
I know. That's the part about this is so tough, is that if not for the 149 points that the Cavaliers put up, you could theoretically be like encouraged. Wow, Nuggets put 135 points up. That's
It really
impressive.
is a lot. Like I said, the most they've conceded all year.
It's difficult to gauge a lot of the process and everything that the Nuggets put forth tonight because that team did not. It was unreal, uncanny, the shots that they were hitting. Like, they just had a counter for everything the Nuggets wanted to do, and they just. it was merciless. It was unreal. Like, I've never felt so demoralized, or I have, but it's been a long time.
You say they hit tough shots, and it's true, they did, but they're also like that first quarter, the first 4 minutes of the game, they had 20 points, and all of them were easy. Because remember we were talking about,
they
we're
did
like,
not have a stop. The Nuggets got 0 stop.
But it was like a late wide
open.
open.
The Nuggets took the lead after that.
Yeah, they made a nice run, but I'm saying they gave up 40 points in that first quarter, and the first 20 were uncontested. Yeah. It was like they'd given up 20 points before they got their first contested field goal attempt.
Can I tell you the most surprising thing in the world? Evan Mobley only made 4 threes in this game.
I told you guys.
If you told
we were trying to guess how many.
If you told me it was 17, I would have believed you. So DeAndre Jordan, who has been their backup center now for almost a month.
It is who it is.
And has honestly done a better job than the other guys. I thought, well, you're going to need his size tonight. They keep a center on the floor at all times. And Mobley went, you know what? I'll just shoot threes. And that was just so
demoralizing.
Because DeAndre's like, what am I going to do? Get out there? Like, come on, man. And then we're not rebounding anything, and it just. But I actually can't believe Mobley only hit 4 threes because at one point it felt like he buried 9 in a row.
4 of 6. That's unreal.
I mean, yeah. By the way, something happened in the NBA today. The Sacramento Kings, who lost 5 games in a row at home. They had a 5-game homestand and went 0 for 5. First of all, that's the most demoralizing thing that can happen in the NBA when you have a long, extended homestand and lose every game. They fired Mike Brown. You almost feel like they had to. I know it's the Kings, and they're kind of a joke. They fire everybody. They move. There's a treadmill. But you lose 5 at home, and you're in the 12 seed. There's some of it's like, well, what can we do? What can we do? Mike Brown gets fired. Michael Malone did not like that. Before the game, he commented on, we know he hates the Sacramento Kings.
He hates them.
He hates them
because
so
the
much.
same owner fired him. If you missed this somehow, you probably haven't if you've watched the show.
Yeah. So he went to Sacramento. He got fired when DeMarcus Cousins got spiral meningitis and they started losing games. Then he gets fired. But he said, no balls, no class. I said and then he goes, they fired him over the phone on his way to the airport for the next game. I'm not surprised that Mike Brown got fired because I got fired by the same person, and he went in and in. And I think this is interesting for a couple reasons. One, Michael Malone hates the Kings. 2, there is, the coach kind of gets the blame. Is it really going to fix? Is that team flawed? What have you? But I think 3, I think Michael Malone is also on the hot seat to some degree. We all kind of know that the Nuggets are going to have to do some kind of shakeup. And I almost feel like he's doing some pre-table setting. Oh, you're going to blame the failed roster in Sacramento? You're going to blame the coach? That's a bad organization that does that kind of thing, man. That's a clown show.
Oh my
no
God.
class from organizations that do that.
Dude, I've been in many relationships where you just have to push it off to everyone else. Like, you got to talk about everyone else is doing worse than you. Like, you want to talk about me going out all the time? People argue every day. People are hitting their woman. And you're talking about me wanting to go have fun with my friends.
Just straight up whataboutism. It's beautiful.
That's a good play. That is a good play.
This might be my favorite relationship metaphor of all
It's a
time.
crazy one. Like,
what
to
about
just
your
push it
sister?
off.
Oh, I'm drinking a little.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's guys doing drugs out there. You know?
Yeah, but this one really, I mean, we know that Michael Malone uses the media and to prove a point. Because, like, really, what does that have to do with him? Like, he was, like, focusing on this game, a game that they just got blew out in. He took time in to, like, make sure that it was known. And he knew that was going to go viral. It went viral by us, baby. But, like, really, that is just, like...
You're welcome, Mike.
Hold on.
You're welcome.
You realize you started off that sentence by saying Michael Malone uses the media. And then he just used us to get that.
We're like, hell
We're
yeah.
all proud of it.
I mean, you got to use your weapon. but like, really, I do think that there was a hidden message part of it. It's the timing. It's the way that he said it. It's who he said it to. And he really didn't say, like...
The bus got lost.
No, I think it's already been
I think
back.
it's already come back and like they just didn't come up or something.
oh, man.
But like,
Because I think Lindsay was on it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a while ago.
That's what happened.
But like, it's the support, aspect of it. He didn't say anything like, "Hey, let's pray for Mike Brown," or he's going to land back on his feet and go, be somewhere else because he's a hell of a coach and blah blah blah. He made sure that his message was, that is cowardly. You don't do those type of things. That happened
No
to
class.
me. No class and things like that. So I really do think that there was hidden messages.
Dude, that was like Michael Malone's version of Twitter. You just go on and like something bad happens to somewhere else and you just pile on because you're like, oh, yeah.
Also, like Twitter, make it about yourself somehow indirectly.
Yeah, totally.
He also, I don't want to bury Wynn's part here, but I know after the game he said, you look at that team, they got a lot of 3-point shooting. Our roster, not so much. Doing some of these things.
He's like, all I've got is the lousy best player alive.
To be fair, though, that is all he's got.
You're right. It is all he's got, unfortunately. Let's talk about Yoke real quick. A triple-double? Can I interest anybody in a triple-double? By the way, maybe I didn't even look this up if it's a Yokigami.
Yeah, in the third quarter.
He did. 27, 14, 13. Wasn't even like a by the skin of his teeth one. It was had it in the third quarter, added on to it. And yet, I still feel like Yoke is not as assertive as he is at his peak. And again, I think it's some of the frustration. Like, he just seems frustrated with the team. But I don't rate his night independent of that vote.
Offense good, defense bad.
Okay.
Which has been that way for a little bit now.
3 steals.
To start the year, it was offense better than we've ever seen, by the way. And then defense, honestly, who cares if he's playing that well? Since then, it's a little... Now he's just normal amazing and not the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, I just want to I want to get ahead of it because I've been thinking it for a while, but I want to just say it publicly. I think that Jokic has been his same incredible self. He truly has. The thing about it is now you can't hide the defensive part of his game. Like, I think it's the same defense, but now with Christian Braun and just other guys being able to
Jamal,
defend it. It goes back to, like, I feel like KCP hid some of his flaws. It was like some of those type of things because he was such a plus defender and he did a lot of those things well that you're not seeing him in ISO situations. You're not seeing him as much in drop coverage. There's a lot more team aspect defense. So now I think that he's still doing the same incredible offense. He went 12 of 19 from the field. 19 shots, you can't say he's not aggressive. He still has the assist, and he's like finding guys. Like he got guys in open spots. He passed them to open spots. His points, he's putting up the most points I think ever right now. Like, is this his best years of scoring?
Oh,
right
by
now?
far,
scoring and things. But it's just the defense is so bad around him that it goes back to that being his biggest flaw. Jokic has never been a great defender, but they had good team defense around him. So I think that's my take.
I think you are right 100%. I do also think in these last 3 weeks, Jokic's defense is even worse. I'll stop short of calling it protest, but I'll call it just maybe not the most inspired defense I've ever seen. But I mean, you're 100% right too, Dev, that they used to be able to mitigate it and now they can't. There's no doubt.
I know there's no weak side help.
We can't stay in front of anyone.
And he started off to like doing the thing that makes me crazy with Nikola Jokic, just like not even putting his arms up for the first like half a quarter, and it was like, and then he like started to get more engaged, and he started to get his hands up, and he was actually preventing quite a few shots in a row. When they went on their first run, Jokic's defense was actually like pretty well engaged, but
yeah, in the start, yeah.
But it's just like, unfortunately, with the best player on the planet Earth offensively, you kind of have to rely on the other players to fill in a little bit more than they are right now. It's tough again because, Aaron Gordon, truthfully, the heart of our defense, but I don't think that even his presence would have flipped the outcome of this game, but it just makes it look so much worse.
Yeah. I think you're right. We got to take a break.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. On the other side, maybe we'll have some people. You want to go down and see if anybody wants to come up? We'll have Harrison win live from the arena as well, and we'll get to your super chats on the other side.
When the Nuggets lose, and I want an ice cold refreshment, but I don't want to feel one ice cold refreshment fatter. Do you know what I turn to?
I would say Miller Lite would be what I would
turn
do.
to Miller Lite.
You too?
Yeah, me too, buddy. A lot's changed over the years. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite, is the original light beer, and to this day, it is still the best one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Many have tried, many have failed to emulate the great taste of Miller Lite, which features more of the taste you want and less of the stuff you don't. And when I say that, I can get specific. I mean, it's only 96 calories, baby. They keep it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories, and that's how they've been doing it since 1975. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time to get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/DNVR, or you can find it anywhere you go to get beer. I mean, you know about Miller Lite. I'm happy to tell you about it, but honestly, you know exactly about it. And liquor stores, any one of them, get your Miller Lite. It's delicious.
Awesome. Do we have another one?
We do definitely have another one, which I would have forgotten about somehow. And Verizon.
Shuffle them in.
Shout out Verizon. Tired of your phone bill draining your bank account? Wish you could use that money for something more fun and exciting? Well, Verizon feels your pain. For a limited time, new customers can get up to $800 in a prepaid MasterCard to pay off your current smartphone loan when you switch. That's $800. You know what I would do with $800? I would give it to Dev and ask him kindly to turn it into $2,000. $800. That's a lot. Switch to Verizon today and take control of your game plan. Visit your local Verizon store for details. And we're back. Come on in,
We're
fellas.
back. We have
Come
some
on
very
in.
shy
Come on in.
takeover
Grab a
fellas
seat, pull
here.
that mic closer to your
grab a
face.
seat.
All right.
Hop on the show. Introduce yourselves real quick for us.
I'm Aaron. I guess I've been watching since about the pandemic.
Okay.
Love the show. Really enjoy you guys.
Nice to
Definitely
meet you.
a big part of my week every week.
Hell
so.
yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Now you're
Yeah.
a big part of your own week.
Aaron,
this
you
week.
said, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aaron. Yeah.
I'm terrified. I'm Eric.
Eric,
I sent you a message on Twitter and asked if your hat was a Mac Miller.
did I not answer you?
No, you did.
I did. Thank God. Thank God. Into the mic, brother. Into the mic, if you can.
Sorry.
I do remember.
Do you
Yeah,
remember?
I do remember. Yeah.
I replied to you, but you never replied. But that's okay. I love
Oh,
it.
shoot.
Dude,
I've
he's
been-
like
I've-
that. He's so like that, man.
I'll do the first reply, but the second one.
Yeah,
no,
He's
just-
gone.
I understand that.
No, I'm sorry. I was just kidding. I'm
I'm
just
like
kidding.
that with
It is a Mac Miller hat, though.
So how was the takeover tonight? Minus the game part.
So,
It was a good time. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I drove from Myrtle Beach to Denver today
From Myrtle Beach,
in 25 hours.
straight.
Yep.
Just straight drove.
I'm a Denver
If
Nuggets.
you don't know, Myrtle Beach, that's on the East Coast. That's very far. It's all the way on the shores of South Carolina.
Literally on the beach of South Carolina. I'm driving from one side to the other side. But I've been a fan since I was 12 years of age.
Awesome.
I've been following you guys since, this is
You
massive.
pointed to that like you got that when you were 12. Is that when you got the tattoo?
16.
Oh, 16.
Close.
That's
It
actually-
was my first tattoo.
Pretty, yeah, I was gonna say.
awesome.
I assume you're Australian, yeah?
Australian. From Perth, Western Australia.
From Perth. There you go.
I have followed you guys, like you were superstars to me. Like I saw
Oh,
Eric
hell yeah.
downstairs and my name's Eric, and I saw Eric and I was like, I can't introduce myself.
Well, I only ask because I feel like there's a chance that you would get it at 12 if you're Australian. But that's
You're not wrong.
He's
by
like,
any
it was a
means.
snake bite. I had to cover it up somehow. Yeah.
But massive Nuggets fan since I was 12 years of age. First game today, Cleveland, we lost.
sorry you lost. Glad you made it.
It was the best experience I've ever had.
Oh, I'm really
Really?
happy, man.
I was row 2 from the 4,
Oh, wow.
so I could hear like Moach
Well, tell us what you
giving
heard.
Jamal like instructions, giving Jokic instructions. I literally, when everyone was dead silent and Jamal was waiting to come into the game, I stood up and yelled out, Jamal Murray, let's go. He turned around and winked at me.
Gave you
My
a
guy
little
had a
wink.
great night.
My guy had a
My
great
guy had a
night.
better night than
Yeah.
everyone else.
Right.
Did you had a great night
I
as
had a
well?
great night as well. I just
Did Murray wink at you?
he did not. Well, he might have, but I was all the way up to the third deck, so I wouldn't have seen it.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I had a great time. Always a great time to get to the game, see it live.
Yeah.
Like the speed of the game, being able to watch it. I actually almost like it from up there. You get to see the whole court in
Yeah.
action, get to see all the guys moving.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So I'm worried about our Nuggets, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Can you talk me out of my worry?
Aaron Gordon hurt us tonight, not playing.
Oh, well, sure.
They
Yeah.
like sitting courtside, the first seats I've ever like sat at. They're massive. Cleveland are massive.
They are big.
They are big.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are huge, man.
And Aaron Gordon not being there, like, destroyed us.
He's also massive.
like like I saw him stand up like right there, and I was like, wow, he's literally predator.
All these guys, when you're that close, 'cause for as quick as they are, you can't believe just how tall they
Even
are,
Russell
man.
Westbrook.
Oh, it's
Like
crazy,
he stood
brother,
right
yeah.
there, and I was like, he's like a specimen.
Yeah, these guys are unbelievable.
He's huge. And Nikola Jokic, my lord and savior. What a specimen.
Yeah, what a specimen,
What
for
a
sure.
specimen.
He's a
I want
unit.
selfie with that man.
Wind's here? Oh, we do have wind. Okay, awesome. Well, you guys sit tight. We're going to go live from Ball Arena and hear what happened in the
Yes,
postgame here.
let's
Let's
go.
welcome in Harrison Wind. Let's see if we can pull this off. We have a rookie producer tonight. We're going to haze him. Riley. Riley's on the... There it is. We
Good
got
job,
him.
Riley. Well done.
There it is. Harrison. I'm very curious how this postgame went. Can we hear him?
Oh, he's frozen. Oh, he's so frozen.
What are our odds?
He's gone.
He's back to Aaron and Eric here. You know how we do it. You got to give us a hot take. We'll start with you.
Okay. I think my hot take is if Malone and Jokic could get on the same page to switch up the rotational minutes to where Jokic plays the first 10 minutes of the first and third, sits for the last two, and is able to come in earlier in the second and the fourth, I think it would do wonders for this team in terms of the flow of the game, putting less pressure in shorter stretches on the bench. And I'm kind of intrigued to see what that would do. I feel like we would do so much better if there was just a little shift in that like rotational flow.
I'll tell you what, that's a real ass take. Some
It is
people
a
get
real
up here and
take.
they're
Yeah,
like,
I don't even know
have
if it's
no
a hot
idea.
take.
No, that's a real.
Just
You've
a
been
take.
sitting on that one. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Ball Arena. We got
Okay,
Harrison
we think we
Wind.
got him.
We think. There he is. Hey, Wind. All right, let's get right into it, Wind. I'm curious to hear what happened in this postgame.
Well, we talked to Michael Malone. We talked to Jamal Murray. We talked to Nikola Jokic after this game. Michael Malone, disappointed, not furious, not fuming after this game, I'd say. Here's a quick stat, though, for you guys real quick. Did you know that 145 points is the most the Nuggets have allowed in a regulation game since 1991?
Yeah,
That's not good.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
good at all.
I would
not
have to
good.
agree.
Michael Malone said, look, this team's really hard to guard. They have shooting everywhere. Off the bench, starting lineup. It's a challenge to guard the three-point line against that team. And our three-point defense tonight it didn't cut it. He talked about a play in particular where the Nuggets just left Sam Merrill, a great three-point shooter, absolutely wide open. They doubled the wrong guy. Sam Merrill was wide open. And that was one of my takeaways from tonight and really the season about this team defensively. Some of the errors and miscommunications that they make, it's like they just started playing together yesterday. And, this team's been playing together a lot longer than that. Just a lot of the errors they make just seem unacceptable to me. And then he spoke about, the defense and the Nuggets offense as well and their three-point shooting. He said, look, we dominate the paint. That's our identity. One of the big differences last year, this year, is we're giving up way too many threes per game. They're giving up almost 3 more three-point makes per game this year than last year. So obviously teams are taking more threes, but the Nuggets' three-point defense this year has not been good enough, and that leads to teams setting records here at Ball Arena.
Yeah, indeed, man. Indeed. Do you
Jamal
feel like
Murray
when he
had-
made that point, by the way, Win, that he was almost – I feel like Malone's starting to point out discrepancies between the Nuggets roster and other rosters. They have a lot of three-point shooting everywhere. We don't really have that, but they do.
I don't think he was meaning to do that when he started that answer. He was also asked a question tonight about just the three-point movement in the NBA this year. And he started off by saying, I don't really care about that. I don't have an opinion. And then went into a very long and thought-out opinion about how the Nuggets roster is constructed. And, then he got into what I was talking about, how they're giving up too many threes to really keep up. So he touched it again tonight. He's touched it a lot this year for sure. We also talked to Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray, the theme of his presser just now was how obviously the Nuggets have to be better defensively, and the way they do that is by being more physical. And he said the entire team and me, we have to be more physical. Jamal said, personally, this is a quote, I've got to be better on defense. I don't think I'm playing bad defense this year, career highs in steals and blocks, but I've got to be better.
Did he say career high in steals and blocks?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. All right.
And then this was another really interesting quote from Jamal. He was talking about the Cavs, the 21-2 run. He said that run the second quarter just destroyed us. And he said, I'm referring to about a year ago. We, as in the Nuggets, we had so much confidence in each other. And they, the Cavs, they play like it. You could feel that they have confidence in each other. That belief in their game propels them.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And then finally, we spoke to Joker as well. Joker was asked what the individuals on this team need to do to kind of get the Nuggets on track. And this was a great Jokerism, I thought. He said, we need to point the thumb, not the finger.
So at yourself and not others.
Oh, it's a great, dude, that is a good
Point the
Jokichism.
thumb,
Yeah, I
not
love
the
it.
Not the
finger.
finger.
Oh, that's so good, Yoke.
He said, we need to start thinking about what I can do to help the team. And, of course, he's talking about everybody.
Calvin Booth's like, it's them. It's your fault.
Also, Nikola Jokic said tonight,
Okay,
I've
okay.
played in some games where both teams didn't score 150 points combined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got, guys.
All right. Well,
Thanks for doing it.
not a very spirited.
Thanks for doing it.
answer
That's
from
really
the
my
Nuggets.
Spirits are low. Spirits are very low here at Ball Arena right now.
It does seem that way.
Vibes do seem low. All right, get home safe,
Get
Quinn.
home
Thank you
safe.
so much.
And by the way, Riley, whatever you did to give Harrison a lisp, I don't know what filter you hit. Thank you so much. Because I don't know where else the levity was going to come tonight. And
I'm
that
just
was
glad
perfect.
we got it. I'm glad we got it. All right, we're back to hot takes. Eric, I have a feeling you have a hot one.
Everything's 2017. I went to New York. I went to the NBA store and they gave me a Jokic jersey with no hyphen above the C, which showed that they didn't care about him.
Okay.
He's going to be the greatest player to ever do it.
He's going to be the greatest player ever. One pepper take. One pepper take.
Wow.
Not even hot. Wow. We all know who Yoke is. We all know he's the greatest player ever. We already know that. No, I like it. Honestly, the thing you need those titles, man, and the Nuggets just feel a little bit far from a title. But you know what? It's a long season. We're not even halfway through it. Gents, thank you so much for coming to the takeover.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thanks
so much
for
for
having
hopping
us.
on. All
Yeah.
right. We got some more. Let's swap them out. Let's get some new
Fellas,
homies
thanks
up
for
in
coming.
here.
Don't forget your beer there,
Don't
brother.
forget your beer.
I have a feeling you're going to want to finish that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys.
fellas. Come on in.
Come on in, brave souls. You guys got to save the show. It's been a train wreck.
Save the show. Oh, boy.
First of all, introduce yourselves to the audience.
My name is Joe Hack. I'm in North Carolina.
Joe Hack?
He was from South Carolina. What do we got going on today?
I'm Roger Hack. We're brothers.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
okay. You guys actually don't look like brothers. Do you ever
No,
get that?
Yeah,
We
the
hear it all the time.
jokes, whenever he said I was adopted as a kid, hit really hard.
Yeah, I
really
would buy
believe
it. I
Yeah, very
probably
believable.
would. Yeah.
Are you also in Carolina?
No, we're both originally from Arkansas. We got out as fast as we could, and I came here.
Okay.
And made him a Nuggets fan.
We
as
went
well.
opposite directions.
Well,
Yeah.
good
Okay.
work on you, though. You could have fallen into being a Hornets fan. That would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
That could have been
Well,
a disaster.
He's sort of
Yeah.
a Heat fan.
Sort of.
a
eh,
Heat
whatever.
fan.
And I'm
sort
just
of a
like, oh,
Hornets
what is
fan.
this? My
Yeah.
microwave? What is going on? Hey.
There you go. All right. Well, you guys know the drill, man. When we do a takeover, we have people on, but we ask them to give us a hot take about the Denver Nuggets. So you have to craft yourselves a hot take opinion. You have to believe it at least like 1%. What's your guys' hot take?
I'll go first. I think tonight, after seeing Aaron Gordon not in the game, the Denver Nuggets need to make every effort to get a true backup big.
A true backup
in
yeah.
place of DeAndre Jordan.
I don't
Yeah.
love
think this
him,
podcast
but
has
he's-
ever heard that before.
Oh, I don't listen to the podcast, so it's news. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is his first time. I'm introducing
gonna
him to
listen
the
to this
DNVR
one.
I'm
Nuggets.
gonna listen and then hate the sound of my voice after this.
I just am so skeptical of that for one reason. How many straight seasons has it been they've traded for a backup center and it's never made a difference?
my God.
The good rule of thumb when desiring any other bench player, imagine them playing the worst basketball they've ever played in their life. How does that look? That's
Like,
the
they
question.
trade for
you gotta-
Anthony Davis, he would just turn into nothing. I think
Yeah.
out of it.
Well, he's
somehow.
made of glass, so
He is made of glass. All right, what's your hot take?
My hot take is that Peyton Watson should have started over Westbrook tonight.
I think that one's a one pepper. I think Riley.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. We've kind of moved on from that segment a little bit quickly, but I agree in large part because I will say this: I worry about Peyton's confidence a little bit because I think he's yanked around quite a bit. Of all the young guys, I think he's yanked around the most. And tonight, to just go to a 3-guard lineup against a tall team, I know that P. Watts not necessarily plays big very well, but I do feel like it was the default setting. And if you put yourself in Peyton Watson's shoes, you filled in for Aaron Gordon the last time he was out for 10 games, did very well, very well. And the Nuggets did very well. So he goes out. I'm sure when the news came out that he was out, he's probably laying in bed going like, all right, I'm going to start tomorrow. Okay, mentally prepare. I'm going to start. You get to the gym and it's like, well, wait, I'm not Russell Westbrook is going to play in place of Aaron Gordon. I just think those types of things are tough on young players, especially when he's been playing 18 minutes a game for the last 15 games. So I worry about that a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, that was such a good take. There was absolutely nothing to say. Do you guys have any final takes before you hop out? We swap some new in?
Trade MPJ for Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
For Jimmy
that's what he wants to do.
You want to talk about volatile vibes?
Yeah, wow.
I mean, it might work, but if it doesn't, we're all going to become Hornets fans. That's going to happen.
I just want to give a real quick shout out to Lane Randall, who it was his birthday today. We
Shout
brought
out
him up
Lane.
to the suite tonight. We surprised him for his birthday.
That was you
that's
guys.
very
Hell
good.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
fun.
Shout
was
out,
awesome.
shout out,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That's really cool. Thank you guys for hopping on. Let's get some new ones in.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's swap some new guys in. We'll see you guys. Oh, we got absolute homies here. Absolute homies. You guys gonna? Yeah, get it right up here. We're hearing from the Nuggets community. This is why you come to the takeover. You get to come on the show and yell at us if that's what you want. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the mics real quick.
My name is Greg Zamel, longtime friend of the program, first time appearance.
First time on the show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, there you go. And Eric, what's your name?
Eric Wise.
Eric, into the mic. Into the mic, Eric.
Eric Wise. First time on the show.
This is your first time on the show?
That's not true.
He's lying. He's lying.
You've been on this show.
First time he remembers
I've
being on
looked
the
at
show.
you sitting where you're sitting in this
Eric,
spot.
so you don't know, is
Not true.
first team all DNVR. He owns literally every shirt we've ever put out. He owns several of some shirts, I believe. He's a number one supporter. We love you. We appreciate you, man.
Well,
You know
appreciate
that.
it. Thank you very much.
So, all right. So, you guys know the drill. You got to come correct. You got to come with a hot take. Give us one.
I want to request that my face is blurred out before I say
Oh, no.
it.
Oh, no.
I think there is a player who is near the end of his prime, but I think will enhance the Nuggets, and I think is worth going all in for. I think would complement Jokic perfectly. After the offseason, I think it's Stephen Curry.
Well, all right.
I think you get rid of.
I mean, it is a hot take.
It's a hot
It's a
take.
hot
Five
take.
peppers.
It's a hot take.
Yeah, I think Steph
I think
Curry would
Dray-
help the Nuggets.
But I think Draymond, Steph, their time in Golden State, I think it's coming to an end. They just offloaded Clay. I think the window may be open. I think you can trade your young pieces like
All of
Peyton
them.
Watson.
For
I mean, all
Steph
of
Curry,
them.
literally, just name the price.
I think it's worth going for.
I think it's worth going for, too. Steph is not going to leave Golden State unless it's an absolute disaster. And if he does, I just think he's going to go to the Lakers. Like, that type of player doesn't go to Denver on the last legs, you know.
No, you're right.
So I'm as much as I would love to see that, I don't know if that one's in the cards. But it would be dope. Steph and Jokic together, they do belong together.
I think
It'd be beautiful basketball.
I mean, dude, yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
you
But
can unblur my
unfortunately-
face now.
Yeah, you can unblur his face. All right, Eric, what do you got?
I mean, my real hot take is I'm not qualified to be on this show, but
Neither are we, man. Just let it rip.
in reality, it's just it's a one pepper take. Defense is the problem, right? 150 points is not acceptable.
It's only 149.
All right,
Hey, don't exaggerate, Eric.
Listen to this guy over here.
This guy.
all right.
Talk about
Once
doom-
again, I'm not qualified to be on this
Talk
show.
about dooming,
right?
you
It's
know?
149, but
Can it be safe, though? Is there a good defensive team in there that we just have to,
I think we have good defensive players. We don't have a good defensive scheme, or maybe it's a lineup. Or,
I like that you said that because it does feel like with Christian in a more prominent role, more when it's for Peyton, Russ on the roster, should it be better than this defensively?
It should be.
The Cavs have Dean Wade, who's good defensively, Darius Garland, who's tiny. They have Donovan Mitchell, who's horrible defensively. Ty Jerome, Max Strus, Sam Merrill. Like, it's not that any of these guys are bad, but you're telling me they're worse than, or they're better than Christian Brown defensively? They're number 6 defense, you know? They do have Twin Towers inside protecting the paint. That's a huge difference. But I do tend to just think that Christian Brown's a really good defender. I don't understand how he looks this inept. Peyton Watson's a really good defender. I don't understand how he looks this inept. It's something really concerning. But you're right. If the Nuggets can't defend, they're not going to go anywhere in the postseason. Like the first round, they will be lucky to make it out. At the moment, they're sitting in the play-in. The play-in would be difficult with the defense we saw tonight, unfortunately. But, just one game. We got some super chats to get to, Riley. You guys can help us with these super chats.
All you have to do is sit there and laugh.
We
It's
can't
really,
read.
It's
We
really
can't read.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
neither
they're,
can-
they're pretty difficult to read. Amin. Yes, the Nuggets offensive rating looks good, but it's still a much tougher process to score with so much help coming off Russ and CB. Overall, it adds up, especially with the bad defense need to trade.
Man, everybody is getting on the need a trade bandwagon. It's starting to become consensus.
Nevin, trade for Levine. If Levine makes the offense even more elite, especially in bench minutes, and guys will be more motivated to play defense. We need
offense. I mean, it's hard to make that argument tonight when they scored a lot, man. Denver scored a lot tonight.
I actually think if Denver was playing defense, their offense would look even better.
Yeah.
They get in transition a lot as a team that can't get stops
where
they're effective. So I do buy the offense. They need defense, in my opinion. But you paid to say it, and I respect the opinion. DJ Seahawk, no Kale, DNVR, the defense can't be saved. Trade anyone except Jokic. For real, we need pieces, not just Zach. When will Wind return? We need his luck.
Peace vote.
Jeez. Were you telling me to bounce, or was you just saying, hey? Super chat from Mike P. Adam Silver has to do something about this garbage. If the NBA is going to allow moving screens 40 feet from the basket, every game will be an all-star game.
I don't mind the moving screens. What I mind is that call on Jamal. How are you supposed to guard the perimeter when Donovan Mitchell, Murray's foot didn't move? He jumps forward.
Back.
He pulls it back.
Murray
Runs forward like 3 feet, lands on him, and they
seen.
call the foul. They actually wanted it to be a flagrant. I hate the way the NBA officiates the three-point line.
And even some of the calls on Mike tonight, I'm like, how the F are you supposed to play defense, dude? I don't get it, but Nuggets can't do it anyway, so I do get that. It's Jordan 420-69. I miss KCP. Sad, broken heart. Diz, 2023-2024 Denver Nuggets. We failed to appreciate you.
I know, it's so true. Last year we were kind of miserable. Way better than this team.
Well, they won 57 games. Refs made me infuriated tonight. Cavs have 10 guys who can hit threes even when they hand in the face, and it's insane. Denver needs something to change on D.
Agreed.
Have to agree there, man. Have to agree. Port a friend. All we need is for Peyton Manning to attend more games. The sexual tension between him and Rocky is exactly what this team needs.
You know what? I'll maybe.
Judges,
I'm open to anything.
Calvin Booth.
Calvin Booth.
Thank you for chiming in, Calvin. I'm trading AGCB and Russ for Zion. Let me cook.
Okay. So random.
No, it's hashtag shut up and take my money.
Wow.
No Adam, no Dev, no Eric. It's shut up and take our money. 100. Good job, Alyssa / Tiff. We know it's not Kale right now. Nug versus Cavs felt like the last matchup.
Man, wow. So meta.
Non-NBA channel. If Nuggets don't improve, can we start a Cedric and D-Line show where they go on dinner dates, picnics, carnivals, etc.? Maybe they might even become best friends in real life.
That's definitely Cedric, by the way. That's a new Cedric just dropped.
Eric F.
I mean, this is me.
But this is Eric. But also, thanks for
by the way, look at that profile pic. Incredible.
5-5-5-5-5-5-ish. I feel dirty rolling around in these Zeke minutes, but beggars can't be choosers.
So true.
82-58 minutes down, only 472 minutes and 2 seconds till 555 minutes. Let's win tomorrow, LFG.
We might not get to 100, man. I'm not even lying.
It may be over. Big Honey, this is not the team I fell in love with. I want my team to play with amazing chemistry like they once used to. I want my championship team back.
The chemistry part of this is very real. This is what I'm getting at with the defense. It can't just be that these guys are all that bad. Other teams seem to make defenders out of things, but Denver is very disconnected right now, and I think it shows more on defense than offense, because offense, you got Jokic, and he's just great.
Slobodan Pekovic. The issue isn't the offense. We lack a perimeter defense, an elite pick and roll defender. What's the vision, Booth? A 2-point team without defenders? When you put it like that, it's a little tough.
That actually is
it's a pretty tough way to summarize it. Yeah. Sasha N, MPJ Hunter, and a second for Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith. Anyone?
I mean, MPJ Hunter. I was like, yeah, Hunter in a second? Sure. MPJ Hunter in a second? Maybe, man. I mean, honestly, maybe.
Tiamin, Calvin Booth should be on the hook. There are lots of league minimum guys who can do a job defending, or just don't sign Zeke to that contract.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a bad move, man. But by the way, Calvin Booth does not have a contract at the moment. His contract will expire at the end of the year, and the fact that the Nuggets have not offered him an extension right now really makes me wonder what's more likely, a Denver Nuggets trade or Calvin Booth let go. I wonder. Do you let Calvin Booth make a trade at this point if you're not going to extend him?
If you're not going to extend him, that feels
weird to give somebody that opportunity and then be like, we don't believe in you anyway.
Nevin, even better offense with Levine equals not being behind constantly, better defensive effort because we're demotivated because we're playing from behind constantly. I can follow that logic. I don't know if I agree, but I can follow it. Togojita, pains me to say this, but MPJ's stock has never been higher, and the Nugs' need for a shakeup has never been higher. Yet do you see any trades that will help the defense? Hashtag no thanks, Levine. I mean, that's why I think it's got to be like a Cam Johnson, Finney Smith trade, which I'm not saying I would do. I just depth and defense, maybe.
More players, yeah.
More players.
What are the odds Cam Johnson gets here and looks like a traffic cone?
I feel pretty
you know
high.
I mean?
I feel like it's pretty high. Sasha N, fire Saunders and hire Mike Brown as defensive coordinator? ?
Don't think that's going to happen.
Super dope hip hop. Murray, 40 plus minutes per game, last 5 games. Dumb AF coaching, and I'm a Maul supporter. Maul is very good, impactful last regular season and 32 minutes per game. Pickett solid versus Suns, doesn't play again. I did think when they put Russ in the starting lineup, we'd see Pickett tonight.
We saw Hunter, though. Remember we talked pregame about who might have to get a minute? He actually played, so.
Amin. Amin, yes. Amin again. Yes, the Nuggets offensive rating looks good, but it's so much tougher process to score with so much help coming off Russ and CB. Doesn't add up. Oh, we did that one already. Sorry. I mean, again, Jamal needs to start taking 8 threes per game, especially with Russ and CB on the court. Dribble, long contested midi equals losing math game.
I do think both of these things are true. I think Murray can be quicker in his decision making. There is a time for those dribbles, screen, rescreen. There's a time for that, but there's other times to get off ball quickly and to shoot quickly. He's the most reluctant, good shooter I've ever seen in my life. So I agree with that.
Was not reluctant on that fast break when he should have passed it.
Man, oh my God. Talk about, I mean, the game was over, but
I know, but it was just such a weird
3-on-1. It's so many options. He's like, I got this.
Now we'll shoot it. Musafa Jones, never thought I'd be here, but please come back. Justin Holiday was always where he was supposed to be.
I'm telling you, I predict he will be back on the roster. I predict Justin Holiday will be on the roster. As a signee.
Christoph Sizabak. I overslept this game, went for 10 minutes, condensed not to miss this show. Why do I even care? I should watch soccer like other polls.
No, Cedric! I love it. 10 out of 10 super chat, man. We're sorry you woke up.
Soccer like other polls.
That's true.
It's an amazing set.
Hey, we're just in a malaise.
Yeah. Hey, pragmatic roads. Fundamental problem is MPJ is really a power forward and Jamal is a shooting guard. Subchat the 3-man laps in the second, and this is potentially the game of the season.
I mean, I think there is something to this. There was that little lapse. It was a 26-6 run, I believe. I think it was more than 3 minutes, but that really was the game. Denver did play him somewhat even. It's hard to say that because that run did happen, but there is some truth to that, I think.
And remember, man, it was a 3-point game when that Jokic non-starting lineup checked in the third quarter.
Yeah.
That group struggled, but it was still a game. Then quickly it was not. Cedric Exquisite wearing my Jokic jersey right now. We need to bring back Bruce Brown and KCP. What's up, Vote? I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope you had a good Christmas, Cedric. Good job, Riley, if you are here. And no, Christoph Schizabak. Moch's lowest Munder. DJ yells Rasheed Wallace at the ref after teed. Popeye starts at the 4 while A. Jeezel is out because dat boy thick. Booth equals hoops jihadist.
Wow.
Heart UD line. Vote Stradamus.
A lot in there, man. A lot in there.
Nice job.
Chris,
He's thinking these super chats so far. Huh? What do you think, Eric? It's all over the board.
Love
What'd you
listening to
say?
you guys read them. I'm not going to read any of them.
It's incredible that you guys are able to read this. Like, that's underplayed.
That's why everybody's like, are you guys idiots? It's like, no, man, it's hard to
very
read.
difficult to see.
Christoph, one more time. I've been watching for 5 years. It all went south as soon as I started super chatting. No more.
Oh, no.
Let's see what happens. Milk those PLN. Love DNVR.
You know what? If it works, then I'll go with it. But I don't think that's the problem.
Tiemann gets the last word tonight. It's a 3-point league, and we have no elite shooters. Not a recipe for success.
Again, they scored 135
I
tonight.
know,
Like,
man,
that's the part of this that I don't know if I can get on board with. The Nuggets offense is good.
And tonight they shot like 47% from 3. It's that they allowed like 10 wide open threes. And you can't do both.
You can't do both.
You can't do
that's
both.
What it is.
And if they were, all right, we all get it.
Yeah, we all get it. I don't know. I mean, if you want Denver just to become, it's like if the recipe for Denver is, well, we can score 160 a game. It's like, all right, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe get some shoot. I would like to see it. I mean, it would be fun if the Nuggets were the legit number 1 offense, number 1 3-point shooting team, and Jokic was getting 27 assists a game because there's so much spacing.
There'd be a better way to not win.
It would be a better way to not win. I just don't know if that's the
formula. But I don't know if it would win.
All right, that does it. Hit that outro music.
Fellas, a real treat.
Riley.
Thanks for sitting out.
Thank you for having us. Loved it.
We're already good to go. Everybody, guess what?
Tomorrow.
Big news. Tomorrow we have actor Emmy Ekwalker. I don't know if you guys know him. He's in Moonfall. He's in a handful of other things. There's some Marvel movies. from Colorado. He's a true homie, man. He was in the bar tonight to watch the game. He's a true homie. He wants to be a fella. So tomorrow, new fella drops. You guys are going to love the show. I promise you already. You are going to love the show. I'm watching it tonight. Everybody hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.